Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. It is so awesome to be here with you. Well, I was sitting here today and I was contemplating this amazing quartz crystal. Check this out. Isn't this beautiful? This is one of my treasured jewelry pieces. You guys know I collect jewelry and I have a fascination with crystals. Isn't this something? I love crystals because what they do is they help raise the vibration inside of me. And, when I do channeling, I especially love to wear crystals because I think they're very helpful to open that channel. And if you're somebody who's interested in learning in how to do channeling, you might want to explore working with quartz crystals. Wear them. I like to wear them over the heart chakra because it opens all the energy of the heart and the love and opens the channel flow. And a lot of you been contacting me saying, Psychic Bob, I'm fascinated with your channeling. First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who have been so supportive. Some of you said, Psychic Bob, what do you recommend? What books should I read? Well, this is a wonderful, probably my favorite book. I've read a lot of channeling books. This is probably my favorite. I've had this for about 20 years. Opening to Channel. And it's called How to Connect with Your Guide. And this is written by Sonia Roman. Okay. Let's see if I've got a name here. Here it is, Sonia Roman and Dwayne Packer. And they're partners. They channeled together and they wrote this book along with their guides. There's the name. Sonia spelled S-A-N-A-Y-A. Last name Roman, R-O-M-A-N. I believe this book is still in print. This came out in the 1980s. I have one of the original 1980s version. I love the graphics. I don't know if they still make it under the same cover, but you want to study channeling, this is the book you want to get, okay? It'll help you. It helped me immensely in the early days of my spiritual work. Well, I'm just so glad that you guys are here today because the last few days, I live here in Washington, D.C. The last few days have been kind of crazy energetically with the inaugural. A lot of protesters coming into town, a lot of people fighting with them. Yesterday I set out the inaugural. I said, I'm not getting into that craziness. And I actually had a day of spiritual retreat, which was really good for me. So I didn't put out a video yesterday because I decided just to get away from everything and just have a day of silence and prayer and meditation. And it really did help me very much. And I did some readings also as part of my, spiritual focus. Sometimes even when I'm on retreat, I'll just, do a few readings because it just helps me to see for myself as well. Whenever I do a reading, I open that channel and I get wisdom too. So I had a real blessed day, and I hope wherever you were that your day was blessed as well. So here we are. It's Saturday, and you know what that means? It's our Saturday Seance. That's right. For those of you new here, this is a weekly tradition, pretty much weekly. Sometimes we can't do it just because of circumstance, but pretty much every Saturday we gather here at Spirit Channel for our Saturday Seance. And during our Seance, I go into trance and I open up my channel and spirit entities come through me and they speak through my body. It's a wonderful experience and it's nothing scary, but it's something we do here and a lot of people seem to enjoy it. So I invite you, pull up your chairs, gather around, and let's see what the spirit world has. I'm going to go into trance, so I'll see you when I get back. Thanks for being here. When one understands that the material world and the spiritual worlds are interlinked, then one can begin to make progress in one's life. When I was a young man, I had a great fascination with the sciences. In those days, we were not yet aware of atomic energy and such, but the theory was already present. Einstein's theories of relativity were already in vogue, and we used to speculate about what could be. The concept of dimensional portals was one with which I became familiar. I even had some friends who were occultists who engaged in opening doors between the worlds. I attended some rituals, and I must say it was in those days that I became acutely aware of the spiritual reality that is all about us. Many on the earth today think that there is nothing but a material focus. They have abandoned concepts such as God, such as spiritual realities, such as life beyond death. This has left them in a place of voidism, where there is little hope for progress beyond this life. If this were the truth, this life would have no meaning. But if there is a spiritual world, then the earth life has great meaning. I can confirm for you here that there is life beyond the grave. This medium is most kind to allow us to come through, to use his body, to speak to you. But even if he were not available, we would seek out other sources. The spiritual world wishes to connect more closely to the earth realm. As I have said, many on the earth have forgotten the spiritual realm. This has created a sense of separation, where people wander through life and they feel that they have no hope. If you know that you are a spirit, and that you have lived before, and that you will live again, then you will have great joy in your life. But don't only think about it in terms of joy. You can also understand that the spiritual world brings success to you in your material life. Over here we understand that you upon the earth have need of physical things. You have need of food, you have need of money, you have need of shelter. These are needs which are necessities that you should not neglect asking our assistance for. There are some today who think that to be spiritual means that you abandon the material world and you seek only after the things of heaven. That philosophy also is imbalanced, for it presupposes that there is no value to the earthly life and that it is simply something to get through on the way to heaven. Materialism or extreme escapism are not balanced philosophies. It is our wish here in the spirit world that those upon the earth will find the balance, that they will live their lives fully and with joy, and also in abundance. The spiritual world is not something you should seek for in abandoning material things. You have incarnated for a purpose. Some of you have forgotten that you have come into the earth from the spirit realm. But when you awaken to that reality, then all things become possible to you. If you know that you are a soul upon a journey in an incarnate form, then you will have freedom, freedom to live and freedom to die. On the earth there are many people who say that life must be preserved at all costs. It is true that life is sacred and sanctified, but there does come a time in the earth's cycle when one must let go of the material world and return back to our world. At the time of my death, I was clinging very tightly to the material world, for I had forgotten very much this realm. Strangely, when I crossed into that realm of purgatory, that realm of darkness, I became acutely aware of my own mind and my own thought processes. I became very aware that I had come from this world. And when I achieved moving into the light, everything became much clearer. During my life review, I was shown that during my life I had the ability to tap into this world, but I had neglected it. And when I had damaged my body through alcohol and drugs, I further removed myself from my connection to this world. If you wish to have success in your material world, please understand that you must be in partnership with the spiritual world. Now there are those upon the earth who will say, but I know many people are atheists and they have great success in the material world. Yes, one can have success, for one is often naturally at times a channel, though one is not aware of it. All humans enter the earth with spiritual gifts. Some have the ability to channel, and this channeling allows them to draw to themselves opportunity of great success. But because they put their blinders on, they do not realize that their very gifts come from God. And as such, they limit their ability to further manifest joy. If you look at your own life, you will see there are many times when you've had despair in your life. Some of you have even contemplated ending your lives. But to contemplate the end of life is only human. But if you have a spiritual self, you will understand and know that to end your earthly life prematurely will gain you no success in the afterlife. Those who destroy themselves are sent back for more lessons. You are like children in a school, and until you master your lesson, you will not have peace in your life, nor will you be able to graduate. If you do your mission, and you return here with a state of honor in your soul, then you will be advanced into the light. Over here in the spirit realm, there are many levels. There are some levels that are closer to the darkness, and some that are closer to the ultimate light, the Godhead. At some point, you can abandon your consciousness and merge within the Godhead and become one with it. Here you have free will to be as closely connected to God as you want, or to be as little connected to God as you want. It is the same as in the earthly realm. In the earthly realm, no one truly forces you to have a spiritual life, and over here no one is forced either. But when you arrive here, the truth is before your very eyes and is very difficult to deny the higher power. We understand the human struggle upon the earth. Many people lack faith. And in the material world, to see the spiritual world is very difficult, for your realm is very dense, very dark, very dim. This is where the eyes of the spirit come in. You have two sets of eyes. You have material eyes that can see the world around you and see the galaxies and the stars. But beyond that, you have spiritual eyes that can see beyond the veil, that can see dimensions beyond that which you currently know. You can see those of us from the spirit world with the spirit eyes much more clearly. On earth, occasionally, there are people who will say, I saw a ghost. I saw it with my own very two eyes. This is true. Your physical eyes can see spiritual matter, but that is because that spiritual matter has so closely aligned to your vibration. There are various levels of density, and when we speak of ghosts, ghosts are those souls whose vibration is so dense as to almost be material. It is on the edge of the etheric. The etheric realm is the spiritual realm most closely aligned to the earth. It is the realm in which most people go immediately upon their death. In the astral planes, there are higher and lower states, as we have said. But when you first leave the body, many souls are so fearful that they refuse to move into the light and retain on the lower etheric realm. This is the realm where they can interact with the earth. They can be ghosts if they wish and stay upon the earth. It is our hope, though, that you will not remain there long, but will ascend to the higher realms, where you will have healing for your spirit and your mind, where you will have rest. To attain the higher realms is not difficult. It only simply requires a wishing to be there. Over here, your mind directs you, and if you listen to your higher thoughts, your higher self, you will quickly and rapidly ascend into the higher realms. There are beautiful things here, beauties and joys beyond that which anything on the earth can offer. And those who dwell in those realms have great peace and joy. Those of us who work as guides, such as myself and the others, we travel between the realms of exaltation and the realms of earth. We see the despair of humanity, and yet we see the future glory of humanity. Though many today look upon the world with great trepidation, please try to understand that the world that you inhabit has its tragedies and its sorrows, but these are not the ultimate reality. There are stages in evolution. Some of you have chosen to be born into situations that seem at first terrifying. Your challenge is to awaken even in the darkness, to know that you can transcend. If those of you watching today feel that you are lost and you feel my whole family is evil, my friends have turned evil, I'm abandoned to despair, let our world be more closely aligned with you. Call upon us. We shall help you. There are others who wish to speak, so I should be stepping from the body. Greetings, my dears. This is Rose. Oh, it's such a blessing to be here with all of you. I tell you, every time I watch our dear Alfred, I beam with joy, my dears. I can scarcely even get into our medium's body here, for my power is so exalted by his presence. You see, when Alfred first arrived here, as many of you know, he was a wayward soul, a lost soul in the darkest regions of purgatory. But now he has awoken to his true self, his true life, and he has great peace and great joy. I wish to thank all of you who have been calling upon me. I've been coming to each of you, and so many of you said, Rose, will you help me? And you know I never forget anybody, I never abandoned anyone. You know, in the earth I was limited. I could only be at one place at one time. But over here we have the ability to shift our consciousness, that we can be in multiple places at multiple times. It's very difficult to explain in material earthly terms, but if you could understand your mind like a kaleidoscope. Have you ever looked in a kaleidoscope? It's one of those little telescopic things, and it's got bits of glass in it and paper. It's very shiny. Well, if you look in a kaleidoscope, you'll notice there are multiple windows with multiple different things happening all at one time. This is how it is for us over here. We can view all the multiple windows and attend to them simultaneously. And so you need not fear. Always call upon us. We have the ability to be with you wherever you are and in whatever circumstance you are. You know, in this new year, in 2017, I believe it is, yes. You know, when you're over here in the spirit world, you lose track of earthly time. You know, I died in 1940. In 1941, I believe it was. You know, so long ago I don't even remember now. Here we're talking about 2017. I tell you, that's the one thing that's strange still to me about spirit life, is the passage of time. You know, as Alfred was speaking earlier, it is very true about the dimensions of reality over here. There are many different places you can go. You can see different times, different periods of experience. It is a mystery even still to me over here. But I can tell you that as time passes very quickly, do not let your earthly life be one of neglect. Every day is a sacred day, a precious day. And if you allow the Spirit into your heart and into your life, you will have great joy and great success. You don't have to fear anything, because ultimately all things are resolved within the light. You know, when I was upon the earth, I went to church one day, and I shall never forget this day. I went to church. I was very troubled, you know, and I went to my vicar, and I said, Vicar, I'm having such a row with my father. My father and I used to have terrible arguments about the most minuscule things, you see. And he said to me, Rose, do you not think that perhaps you could have had a part in provocation? And I said, Vicar, how would I provoke a man of his temperament? And the vicar said to me, Rose, you have a side of you that's rather impatient. Your father is a very slow and steady man, and is very calculated. You would do well to follow his example. Well, I tell you, that day I was not pleased with that advice. I thought, well, how dare he not side with me and take my father's side? And at the time I really chalked it. I said, well, my father puts more money in the church than I do, I suppose. That's why I said that. But you see, when I came over here to the spirit world, I come to understand the words of the vicar. In fact, I've even spoken with him over here now. He come over to the light as well. And I understood then that what he was trying to say is that I was being given opportunity in my challenging time for soul growth. I was being given a chance to embrace a way of patience, a way of calm, a way of inner reflection. And you see, if I'd only listened, I would have had an easier time at it. So today I leave you with this thought. I want you to think about in your lives. You know, think about times when you've had a moment where you've had an exasperated experience. And don't you meet it with contemplation, with quiet resolve, with inner quiet. You see, that inner quiet is the calm of the spirit world. When you first cross over here to the light, your first experience will not only be the brilliant light, but the calm silence that you will encounter it with. Oh yes, eventually you'll hear the angels and the beautiful sounds of the spirit world, but your initial experience will be one of absolute silence as you gaze upon the light. Everyone who comes here experiences it. And so if you can find that silence in your earthly life, then you will have great joy, great peace, and might I say, dear, great success. Fletcher's told me that the power is growing weak around our medium now, so we shall not stay in the body much longer. But I am so very thankful for all of you for being here today, and I send each of you my blessings. Power is fading, but before I go, let me give you my good words and wishes, and I hope that you will always remember to reach out to me and call to me. You say, Rose, that will help you. Hey, Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, I tell you, I love to channel. It is probably the favorite thing I do in my life. Because when I channel, I get that spirit power, that blessing. If you've enjoyed today's seance, I hope you'll consider checking out another book. This is my book that I wrote called Messages from Rose, and it tells about my early years, my adventures with my spirit guide Rose, and all the wonderful experiences I've had. So you can pick that up over at my website at robert-hickman.com. I'll put the link below. But I hope you'll check it out. I had a lot of interesting experiences, and I'm glad that I captured in this book. So I hope you'll check that out. Well, you guys are wonderful. Thank you for being here today. Listen, if you enjoy being part of Spirit Channel, show me some love by liking this video, favoriting it, share it with your friends, and if you would, hit subscribe, be part of our channel. We'd love you to be here. Well, I think I'm going to go back to meditating on this beautiful crystal today and discover the mystery within it. Thanks for being here, guys. Listen, keep it here. Tomorrow is Sunday. We got more stuff coming, so we'll see you back here then. We'll have something fun and mystical. Make sure to be here. Blessed be. Oh, next Saturday, we'll have another Saturday night seance. Blessed be.